Please feel free whenever you have any questions going forward. My presentation is about AMDT M4P approach, which is basically what Michael has talked about, the overall visions, how we wanted to see, and how M4P approach is in the context of Tanzania we are looking forward. So on the way, what he has already talked about the systemic constraints, how we are addressing these things, how we look forward to moving forward so that the market can work and it can provide the solutions by itself, and how we see it into the graphical or the flow diagram. That's what I'm going to run through within the next 10 to 12 minutes. All right. So we look forward for the competitiveness of any sector that we have talked about. We are very focused on the competitiveness, inclusiveness, is resilient. It's not clear, right, from there?
No, it's tiny.
It's not clear. It's very, yeah, it's tiny. All right. So it's a competitiveness, it's a resilience, and it's inclusiveness that we are looking for in that sector. So we see for whom? It's basically for the farmer organizations, farmers, individual farmers who are producing those things, and then the processors who are involved with those things of after productions. And we have an input companies which are along with the seeds, fertilizers, or this is IPM, etc. And we also see the off-takers and end market, which just what Michael has shown into the donut diagram. So this is the core market. Whatever the sector has been chosen is actually functioning in the main areas. What we have done and what we wanted to do with the partners is actually we wanted to see the market system analysis, what has been identified into that subsector. We wanted to see the intervention strategy, what we will develop together, what are the interventions can be taken so that the systemic constraints can be addressed on the way. What are the catalytic investment guides that we have, so how we are providing that guides to the different kind of partners, and market facilitation and capacity building, learning, knowledge and sharing, geo code actors mapping, profiling, and baselines, and the evaluation service. So these are the background work what AMDT does before we get into any sectors. So we can have some data through what we go forward for validations and stakeholder discussions and other strategies implementations. So we see there is a big role of the service providers. The bundle of services are there. There are a number of people who are here, I see, is working as a service provisions for the main actors. So improve their performance, improve the market performance, market actors and farmers and processors and off-takers, how it can be done. So there are a number of bundle of services which is comprised of technology, ICT infrastructure, access to finance, and farming as a business, the good agricultural practice, logistics, transportation, all different kind of things which are supporting the main business services along the value chains. And how it works. So there are pool of products, product development resources who actually innovate the new products for the sectors. It could be packaging, it could be the production itself, it could be the bundle of services, access to finance, loan product, many other different things. When these peoples are actually helping to design a product customized to address that particular constraints. And then the other point what Michael was emphasizing is the strategic pillars. So there are some groups of people who are providing the strategic coordinations that helps us to enabling the environment, business environment in terms of rules, regulations, for more cooperation with the government, gender mainstreaming, the unique actors like the social enterprises and foundations of unique functions, how we can bring their resources into the places and we are going forward. And also the environmental experts. who are helping the entire sector to comply with the environmental issues so that no harms on environmental is being really followed. So we have these whole market actors over here who are actually playing the core role of the demand and supply. And those who are really productive, who are producing these things, number of small and medium enterprises, they have the core functions from productions to end market. And has a relationship from pool of products development from there to here, and also from here to there. And there is a commercial relationship and the negotiation and contributions. This entire this side, if you see, this is a gray, is actually the private sector. What is the main focus of the market system development? So we want the entire private sector to be more vibrant and there will be more linked and more work. So when Michael has expressed about that we are looking about the opportunity, when we does this analysis, we found some of those constraints or difficulties that are causing less performance, maybe input side, input market, maybe farmer's point of view, maybe processor's point of view, maybe the end market or the off-taker's point of view. So there are some constraints and less performance we have seen, which actually come out as an opportunity for the whole market. So how it can work, the whole private sector? The way we see it is basically we look for innovations, transparency, ownership, accountability, and we look this incentive and commercializations, capacity development, and the capacity development of the service providers, capacity development of this whole market actors, the core market actors who are playing the role, and who can develop the sectors at the end of the day. But the question is how. We see the dotted lines, right? The question is how it can be done. So when we are having this, when AMDT is looking at the facilitation, we look for a market facilitator. It is AMDT and the partners of market facilitator who are facilitating during the facilitation period to improve this capacity and improve the business services so that ultimate opportunity can come out of the market and better performance can be organized. The dotted line is over here is, you can see there is a negotiations and contributions. So we see it in a more sustainable manner. We wanted to see that the business organizations are coming with their product and services to the market so that there is a transactions, there is a commercial relationship, and there is a win-win relationship for the recipient point of view and from the provider's point of view. So the private sector has a commercial transactions and improving their product portfolio or service portfolio that supports the core market constraints to have like better functioning or improved production or improved productivity, and at the end its incomes increase. So there are a lot of negotiations over here. Is important to know this like ICT technology infrastructure, how it can help over here. And when AMDT is looking for the scope is how the negotiation is happening, how the private sector is seeing it as a business, how these people see it as is a business, not a philanthropic approach, not a giveaway. So how this whole private sectors can function more, I would say, market-based approach or market-based, market-driven approach, a demand-driven approach. So this was not automatically done. That is why the facilitation role is in place, where AMDT and other facilitators together, we try to facilitate those negotiation, capacity development for a short period of time, and we want to see at the end that the market has its own capacity to provide those services at the end of the period, a certain time. So this is during the implementation phase or the facilitation phase. What do we expect after we exit? We want this capacity to be provided by the core market actors. We want the incentives and the commercializations and the capacity development also goes directly over there. And we wanted to see a transactions path to inclusive market. So there is no market facilitators here anymore when the exit of the intervention happens. So the market functions by itself. The private sector is over there. All the market players are there with their own capacity, own interventions, own incentives, and have a better relationships. And then you see all the dotted lines are gone. So we want these things. This is our vision, that the market is performing better, but it's more inclusive, so that the productive poor also participating, business service organizations are also participating, and the strategic coordination groups who are in the civil society, or many of them are semi-commercial or commercial, are also having a transactions within this path. You can see sometimes they provide it with fee, sometimes they provide it voluntarily. So that's why it has a half of inside the private sector arena, half is out. So it depends on the negotiation how it happens. So when we talk about Pulse, and when we are here with all different roles in this place, we try to understand and facilitate how you can bring more business into the places, how the negotiation can be into place, so that whatever constraints has been identified into the Pulses sector that you are going to do in the next 2 days, how each of our role can bring more capacity, incentive, negotiation, and contribute to the sectors. So it does not see just like I would say, a philanthropic project, like an asset transfer project or a giveaway project. So it's our core approach, making the markets work for the poor, but it's a commercial, private sector-led program where we like to emphasize all the time that let's see it from the lens of business, commercial venture, innovations, and where we have a more transactional relationships and win-win relationships. So that is all about the AMDT M4P approach so far. There might be some of those things are lacking. It's not the best, but this is what I would like to request that we keep in our mind in our discussions and the way forward. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.